Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd make another video for you guys. Not the best day for me, got some personal stuff going on, but I figured I'd kill some time and get my mind distracted by just wrenching and stuff. So turbo R18 Civic, as you guys already know, and I'm running a stock exhaust on the turbocharger system, and it's gotten to the point where I hear the restriction, I feel all the excessive airflow coming out of the exhaust, and it's time to just change things up just a little bit temporarily and see if the turbo actually likes less restriction in the exhaust system. Now, I've done some research, and the internet says if you're turbocharged, less restrictive exhaust is always better. You want the least amount of restriction so your turbo keeps spooling. If there's too much restriction on higher RPMs, your turbo will not spin as easily, thus it needs more boost pressure to make the power you want. So if we free up the exhaust system, the turbo can spin a little bit more freely, and we can still get a good top end, and the turbo won't be dying out on us. Not that the turbo is dying out, but like I said, I think you can definitely feel and hear a restriction in the exhaust. Now, you guys already know with this exhaust here, this is the one I had on the car, stock. Both of these are stock mufflers right here. This one we actually cut open, modified some of the baffling inside, and then this is just my stock one. So what I'm doing, since this one I just have this piece of pipe, what I'm gonna do temporarily is just mock up that pipe right there and just keep it running like that. So essentially we get it's kind of like a little straight pipe. Ideally, I'd like that pipe going all the way out to the bumper. We might have to fabricate that up eventually, but for now this is gonna have to cut it, and we're gonna be able to see if it's gonna make a difference on the power, on the sound of the car and whatnot. I do like having a muffler in that place right here, so when you look from the back of the vehicle you see a muffler and it looks factory instead of just an open piece here. So eventually what I might do, I mean this muffler's on its last leg already, but what I might do, I might actually cut a hole on the whole bottom piece, and that way I can still have the muffler sitting in place, but all those exhaust gases essentially are going to be coming in. All right, let me show you. All the exhaust gases are coming in, and then this whole thing will be open, pretty much something like that, just on the bottom, and it will be able to vent it down. And venting down is fine because there's nothing in the way restricting it to vent down, and yet I still retain my factory tip, and it looks super stealthy. And yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna install this pipe right now, and we'll start it up. I got a new tune uploaded on the car. I took away a little bit more fuel in the mid-range, transitioning into boost. And I advanced the timing 4 degrees since my baseline tune, and at 4 degrees of additional timing, I see that it likes to knock at around 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs, right at like -1 point whatever degree of vacuum. So it was doing that when it was stock too. Right around that area, it didn't like the extra ignition timing, so we might reduce the timing right there. In boost, there's no knocks really, the timing looks okay. Right now we're running about 15 degrees of timing at wide open throttle. I'm sure you can do more timing. Again, you want to take away about 2 degrees of timing per pound of boost. So if our factory map ends at 28 degrees of timing, now you do the math, you can probably run a good 18 to 20 degrees of timing. Again, I want to keep this thing safe. There's no dyno, so I'm pretty much keeping it pretty safe and reliable right now. Lily, you ready to tune, huh? You ready? Alright guys, so this is the ignition timing table, and right over here in vacuum going into boost, 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs. We're at max probably 8.5 degrees of timing. So this section right here, I'm taking that section, dropping it down by 1 degree, and hopefully we'll see if it's gonna keep knocking over there in that area. As far as the fuel table, I'm running a little bit rich right at transition here. I added some before when I was adding timing, and now that I added timing, it seems like too much fuel. So either it doesn't like the timing, or it's not making more horsepower with more timing. But I'll take away some fuel here, and we should be good to go. My wide open throttle timing and air fuel ratios look pretty good. You know, obviously the turbo heat soaks a little bit and then gets richer because the air temps go up crazy, but so far so good. All right guys, everything looks good, everything looks tight, you know, everything's been working good, no leaks. We just uploaded the new tune. Let's do a cold start, see how it sounds like, see if we can hear that turbo whistle through that exhaust a little bit, because if we could, that would be awesome. I'm not expecting it since we still have a whole resonator here, and I measured the piping. The piping is like 1.75 inches wide, so that's a tiny exhaust. I thought it was at least a 2-inch, but not even that. So let me sit you guys down and start her up. Holy crap, that's way louder than it was before when I used the same setup, naturally aspirated. Like I said, that turbo spinning itself is pushing so much more airflow through the system, even at idle. It's crazy, and you could definitely hear it by how the exhaust is resonating. No leaks, looks good. It's not bad, it's not bad. I definitely feel it picking up miles per hour faster. It kind of reduces some of that induction noise, which I really love, but I still haven't opened it up all the way, but I'll get back to you guys with the wide open throttle pulls and see how they feel. All right, I'm just gonna keep it in second gear here for you guys, and you guys can hear how she sounds like. There's just a lot of people in the forest preserve, so I don't want to scare the people and their kids. You do get a little bit backfire here and there after you get in boost, but it's very minor. I think I'm gonna pull over here, guys, park up, and give you guys a couple revs here. Let me know, what do you guys think? How's it sound? I mean, it doesn't sound bad. I think it's overall going to be a good balance between induction noises, exhaust noises, but the most important thing is it's going to have that flow that we so desperately need. You know, we need that intake air and coming out of the exhaust here to make this a good, reliable car.
backfire. Oh my God. Guys, first of all, that first backfire was sick. Second of all, this car pulls to red line consistently and linearly. Before, I kind of felt a little bit of a taper towards red line, but because we removed that back pressure right now, everything is looking fantastic. I mean, this car is moving. It is pulling really, really good. She moves good. Only one knock on the entire run, and that wasn't even in full boost, so I'm pretty happy altogether. I'll do one rip here and then go home, let it cool off. Yeah, she's getting hot, but she's still moving. Feels really good. Oh man, she is running good. I'll tell you guys, man, that's a big beating it took on camera and off camera, and everything so far is still holding up strong. Man, I still can't express how much I get nervous sometimes just pushing it, hammering it down. I always feel like, is this it? Is it gonna blow here? So that is a little nerve-wracking sometimes, but again, it's been running pretty dang good. And guys, when I say I beat on it, I mean I beat on it. I'm just gonna let it cool off. You know, we have to let the car idle probably a good 3-4 minutes before I shut it off, and then might as well just throw a fan on it today because it's a super hot day. It's done a really good job. She's a good girl. I'm just taking extra care for her. The exhaust sounds pretty dang good. That backfire again was crazy. I do have some drone in the vehicle. I think if I was able to get that pipe all the way here by the tip and have that exhaust exit here, I'd hear a lot less droning inside the cabin. So that's probably going to be the future project, just to get a pipe out all the way, do some bends on it, hang it up. I think that would be awesome. And yeah, man, that's just one day at a time, guys. Learning, tuning, driving, adjusting. I've been messing around with some transmission settings here using the mass airflow sensor, because it relies on the mass airflow sensor to technically determine the shifting points of the car and how rough or how smooth it shifts. So I'm trying to experiment with that. I got it dialed in where I'm part throttle, it shifts really good, but if I do a wide open throttle in full automatic mode, it's gonna be rough. So I'm still experimenting with that. There might be a point where you just can't do nothing about it. It is what it is, which is fine, because for aggressive driving, again, I just use the D1, D2, D3 shifts where I let off the throttle, change the gear, and go. Normally, if you were naturally aspirated, that would slow you down quite a bit, but because this is turbocharged, even though you redline it, get off the throttle, shift, get back on the throttle, the power is so instant, you're only really losing just a little bit. And again, this is not a race car, this is a daily driver, and for a daily driver, the torque is there, the sounds are there. I like it a lot. All you K20 SI haters out there, you spent so much money, you could have done this and that. No, guys, the car runs like a dream so far. It feels awesome. I love the turbo noises, and everything I learned from building this car and tuning it is you can't compare it to anything. And look, I just found out I was driving this whole time with my locking nut on my wheel.
Well, good thing we didn't lose that, otherwise we'd have bigger problems. But yeah, man, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel, more videos coming. And yeah, thanks for the support. I appreciate it.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see us.